jamacia beautifully.
The Beautifully Melanated podcast, live on Lightning Radio, 90.8 FM and lightningradio.net. So ladies, this week I am doing What in the World, and I couldn't take any more trauma. The week was just full of trauma and stress and things happening onto Black people, and I didn't want to highlight it on the podcast. So I've gone for something lighter, or maybe higher.
Sounds good.
All right. So I'm reading from the Jamaica Gleaner, Saturday the 4th. And this is the news coming out of the island. News that the Cannabis Licensing Authority, the CLA, has permitted a company with majority Jamaican ownership to import 140 kilograms of cannabis, or 308.6 pounds, for research purposes. This news has been met with widespread skepticism by players in the industry, and rightly so. You're importing cannabis into Jamaica. Make it make sense, please. At no point does any of this make sense. And that's a lot for research.
Heck of a lot.
What's really angering the locals who produce marijuana is that we cannot export to Canada. There is no reciprocal agreement. So they can import to us, but we can't export to them our own marijuana.
I wonder what the reason or rationale for that is.
Well, the government and the CLA have been asked to confirm the details of what was imported and for what purposes, and to state the policy going forward. So the response is, it's a Jamaican company. They have to follow the rules, which are in legislation. The ganja strain being imported is not available in Jamaica. The permit is granted depending on the license you have. Some people have license to grow, others to test, and some to retail. So that's all been hailed the Minister of Industry, Commerce and Investment. It could not be ascertained what the strains are and whether they are available in Jamaica, as a promised statement from the CLA with more detail did not arrive in time for press. So there has been angst in the industry since it was revealed that the company, in which some Canadians have a minor interest, has been allowed to import when Jamaicans are not allowed to export in commercial quantities. Only 10 kilograms, which is slightly different to what they can import to us, have been exported to Canada in total, with the strict caveat that it must be for research. So we've sent 10 kilograms or 22 pounds. They've sent 300 and odd pounds back into the island for research, air quotes.
Why Jamaica? Why?
Exactly.
Of all the places to do with that, why Jamaica?
It's like exporting sand to the desert.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So, but why, of all the places and countries in the world, they could have done it, so like Norway or somewhere.
Yeah.
Why Jamaica? I don't understand, Kay.
And does anyone stand to profit?
Absolutely. I don't know who
Canadians.
yet. Probably the Canadians. But the problem is, according to the business owners on the island, that the exporting and importing, there are issues. At least one Canadian company has pulled out of business in Jamaica as they are unable to export to Canada. And the investment losses were piling up. So they didn't even enter into a reciprocal agreement. So it benefits only one.
It's just one way, isn't it?
One way. Yeah.
And they can't export. This doesn't make any sense. So Jamaicans can't send it anywhere at all. But that seems, of all places, of all countries. And I'm sure that the stuff grown in Jamaica would,
It's high grade.
let's just say, compared to some Canadian stuff, come on.
Exactly. People travel from all over the world to taste our good stuff. We have the goodie.
So let me ask a question. I don't know if anyone knows the answer to this. I've not researched it. But does Jamaica export to any other country their cannabis for, I don't know,
medicinal purposes?
Medicinal
in America,
purposes.
because I know when I went to America, just before my daughter was born, so that's about 10 years ago, it was the rise of the medicinal cannabis.
That's
there was
right.
a few pop-ups saying, if you can get a prescription or something, then we can give you some medicinal cannabis.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, where's the medicinal cannabis? Is it from America, or is it from somewhere like Jamaica coming into America?
Well, according to this article, the United States is the largest producer of ganja.
Oh, okay. Right.
And has been setting up its system export and has adopted a protectionist regime. while Canada has been growing greenhouse ganja.
Right.
There's a lot of anger in the industry. People are not accepting that it's for research. They're like, who is going to buy Canadian weed when we can grow it? And we do grow our own.
I just don't understand. Like, it just makes me laugh, though. Why?
Wouldn't it be, you know, like a lucrative sort of revenue stream for Jamaica? It's something that's produced really easily.
It's like trying to give us potatoes. That's what I feel like. It's like, it's like, I don't know, someone in Norway saying, look, let's go and give, you know, the British loads of potatoes. They can't have any. I mean, come on. That's one thing we do have in abundance in this place.
Unless they want a particular strand or a particular strain that can't be grown locally.
There is nothing that we can't grow.
That would be true. I'm just trying to.
It seems crazy.
Yeah, it just seems crazy.
Yeah.
Unless somebody high up in Jamaica has met someone in Canada and said, yes, bring it in here. We'll both profit, you and me.
Except it's not reciprocal, so we're not profiting. They are. But this is typical of Jamaican government, though. What they haven't sold off isn't left. They've sold. It's like Jamaica's on loan to the Chinese at the moment. The bauxite and mining industry, we don't own that. That's owned by...
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is
really. We don't own anything because our politicians are willing to sell everything for a little change.
They carve it all up.
Yeah. And only they benefit.
Yeah. I went to Amsterdam recently. It was a friend's birthday and it was just really interesting. Not that I frequented any of the shops.
Oh, that's a shame.
Really? Didn't you? Come on.
I would have.
Amsterdam, I'd have been straight in those coffee shops.
As soon as I landed.
I wouldn't be leaving those coffee shops either unless it's to go to bed.
But it was just so interesting, right? So the way they've got these coffee shops set up is that, you know, you can go in as long as you're, you know, over the age, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it's just so relaxed. Everyone's chill. You know, no one's off their face or like behaving crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and I just thought, wow, that's amazing. And yet in Jamaica, cannabis is illegal.
Yeah.
I just think that is bizarre.
That is mad.
In fact, there was a time when there was a shortage. When the cannabis was legalized in other places, and then suddenly the government realized we have been sitting on a gold mine. And rather than legalize it, you're prosecuting the Rastafarians, you're prosecuting those who use it. Right.
The farmers that cultivate the stuff. It just seems crazy to me.
Topsy-turvy.
And then they came out with some legislation that allowed you to grow, I think, 9 trees for personal use.
All right.
That's not enough to meet the market demand. That was a problem. We were running out of weed. This is what's in the weed. What? The island that is known for it. There's people come to Jamaica for high grade good stuff.
They run out. It's like McDonald's run out of cheeseburgers. Remember when I was 16, I was working at McDonald's in the holidays from college, and I remember they ran out of cheeseburgers and people were like, oh my God, this is just disgusting. I can't believe this is happening. People are shocked. They're like, this can't happen. This doesn't happen at McDonald's. I can't believe it's outrage.
Yeah. KFC running out of chicken.
Yeah, that kind of, People are like, no, that happened. It makes news headlines. Makes no local news headlines. Yeah. So I'm thinking like McDonald's running out of cheeseburgers is to me Jamaica running out of weed. Yeah.
Absolutely. And now people can grow it legitimately, and there's an amount you are allowed for personal use where you won't be harassed by the police for it. It's still clearly not meeting the demands. So rather than support your local farmers to mass produce the good stuff, you import.
That's just crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I just think we're losing out on revenue.
Of course. You know, the tourism industry, most of them are not owned by Jamaicans. The hotels, the resorts, what we get is what people spend on the island, but the airlines make massive profits.
Yeah.
The hotels make profits.
I used to love traveling via Air Jamaica.
Me too.
I used to have
rice and peas and
what? They'd say, what would you like to drink? I'm like, champagne.
Really?
Yeah.
Air Jamaica was the boss.
It doesn't exist, does it anymore?
No, not anymore.
What shame.
Never had a crash either.
Really?
One of the safest airlines.
Did they only go to Jamaica? Or did they go to other
No, they did go to other countries, but we don't have Air Jamaica anymore.
Shame.
We have Virgin. And, see what I mean?
Yeah, Virgin.
And British Airways and
which is a real
TUI.
shame. It was a really good airline.
It was really good.
Yeah.
And it got fed properly because, no sandwich in the sky for us, but,
We tried Wizz Air. That's a whole other story. I went to Romania with Wizz Air. That was interesting. It was like a wing and a prayer, that one. But yeah.
So what do you think, ladies? If you were to go to Jamaica, would you sample the goodness of the Lord? It's a herb.
Yes,
it's a
100%.
gift. I would.
Hello.
Karen?
Of course you must.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
But would you buy Canadian weed?
No.
No.
That just doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't.
no, someone must be profiting from it, and we think the Canadians probably.
They probably will massively profit, but yeah, I don't want their stuff. I want our stuff.
And I think again, it's just shafting us out of
it is
making money, isn't it?
And making sure we also benefit from our own product. Reggae music is gone. What's next? The weed's gone.
Yeah,
shame.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I would quite like to get high. But not tonight. When I go home.
We'd know if you did now, Kay.
Yeah,
Your voice would change.
So if they sent us a sample of the Canadian stuff, would you let's send it back?
Send it back to who?
Whoever send us a little sample and says, see, our Canadian stuff is good stuff. Do you want to try?
Nah, I'll do
Nah, I don't want
Canadian.
Thank you.
No, I don't want no greenhouse thing. No. So that was my What's in the World. Listeners, if you have any comments or contributions, if you are a ganja master and you know your strains, would love to hear some more of the technical aspect from you. But yeah, let's support our local business.